Oh gosh, you'll just never know, you'll never guess what it is. I mean, even when I read the scripts, I was completely shocked at the end, and I kind of felt like I had a hunch, but it he just proves you wrong once again. So, oh my gosh. Well, I was so excited, I was very fortunate, I got all 8 episodes in one go. So I got to binge read it, and I thought, "Oh, wow, she's a loose cannon, this one." And just so vibrant, and so I was really excited to kind of get to tackle and tap into those kinds of personalities and those kinds of qualities that I don't think I've really had the opportunity to do before, and, you know but I will say it was like, gosh, she's an actress that strikes a bit too close to home, like, how does one act an actress? I am an actress, so how do I come to figure that out? And then, of course, as you kind of find out a lot of the behavior and stuff, within the character, you go, "Oh, wow, she's a fully fleshed out character." And then working out with Mike, sort of all the little neurosis and, all the kind of traits that we wanna kind of lean into and kind of push and make a little, cringe or awkward or uncomfortable. All of those things were really, really fun to get to do with him. Oh my gosh. Well, of course, the ladies, we were such a tight-knit group. Our storyline is very it's kind of outside the other's storyline, so we spent a lot of time together, obviously on set, but even off set. We were loitering around eating. We did a lot of water aerobics. I just have to say that that's like a lot of fun. So, we did that, and then I actually befriended Parker Posey. She was my roommate for probably about a month or 6 weeks, and we had such a ball together. I've loved her for such a long time, and, she is an absolute riot. And then probably Walton and Natasha, I spent a lot of time with, both of them as well. We all kind of showed up at the same time, like the ladies, and then Parker came shortly thereafter, and Carrie and Leslie ended up taking a villa, and then I had a villa, and then I knew, like, Parker was coming in 2 days, so she just took the other room of that villa, and I felt like I scored because I was going to get the opportunity to meet, like, my nines and Endy queen, and she doesn't disappoint. I mean, she's an amazing woman, and I've never met anyone like her. She's, like, very earthy, but, ethereal and wise, and she's just someone I could sit and chat with for hours. She also, like, travels, like, with an apothecary of things. She's very sort of witchy, and she's the kind of girl who is like, "You're shooting all night. Oh, 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 you're gonna be so tired. You need some ashwagandha," and I'm like, "Some what?" And she's like, "Don't worry, I'll leave it by your bed." And sure enough, I'd get in at like 6 a.m. after having taken it all night, and there would be that ashwagandha and a couple of other little add-ons and like creams and potions and all the things. She was like the mother hen taking care, looking after us all. You know, I one of my activities which I acquired in Thailand was I qualified in diving. So that was really exhilarating. My kids and my hubby visited over, and that was just another activity which we actually took advantage of and currently something that I will cherish and I hope to do in other destinations. And I was able to dive along with Walton's large diver. We went out on a boat one day, and anytime you spend out on the water, I think, whether it was like with my family or my friends, because that was something, if you were off during the day, people would go like, who wants to chip in and rent a boat? And you'd go and kind of swim and, boat around the islands. And it's like, when else are we going to have this sickening opportunity to love this portion of the world like this? And so those are special. Those are special moments. Those are lovely days. I had this huge fear that I was going to have to miss them for 6 months, and it was going to be few and far apart that I'd be able to get back home. But, in fact, I was actually doing a lot of going back in time about once a month for, like, a week, and they visited for approximately 3.5 months, in fact, total, and so for them, it was a pretty huge adventure, and they do have a big, like, adventurous personality, and they adore to travel and experience new things, and so that was a true special, um it was a highly special time for us. I believe you understand the way I never judge my characters, so let's just definitely I just don't do that. One doesn't an actor never judge their characters. Um, but I believe that she was really real in the sense that she really wanted, um, a Lori to hook up with this guy. It was a perfect weekend for affling, and I believe that, there's one of the challenges of Jaclyn and the traits that she has to improve is perhaps the belief that she needs a lot of outside validation. And I think that I think she wasn't really necessarily being challenged in the way that she had to be challenged at this detox, White Lotus, and she was getting a little neglected at home. And I believe that she made a very impulsive choice, for good or for ill. And I believe she just sort of decided to have some fun late at night. And I believe the following day, I believe she's probably gonna inform them what she did, and I don't believe she's gonna think like it's gonna be a big issue, so, we'll get to see how the women react. Well, I believe it's precisely what Mike White does so well. I believe that's why folks feel, um, so attached to these characters. Of course, a great deal of their actions and in the narrative are rather heightened, right? These are individuals emerging from a spot of kind of privilege. However, they deliver their baggage to the White Lotus. And I believe that, you know, these are all characters at some place where you're actually enjoying and it's like teasing and then you're rooting for. And then the following week, you're not necessarily rooting for because you're like, oh, wait, I see a mirror here and that's triggering for me. Or, listen, I would never make that decision. Or you're like, oh, wow, like, yes, they're really, they really want to they really want to find their spirituality. And so I find that, that's just like they're very universal themes. Um, and I believe Mike has such a gift for just tapping into tone, that people can really, really enjoy, uh, in terms of the characters being sort of gray and they walk that fine line. And I believe a lot of people walk that fine line in real life. Well, I am so thrilled to be working with you, Beauty. This is a big deal to me. Um, something in the beauty industry has been on my radar for a long time. I adore beauty. But specifically working with you, Beauty means a lot because they embody a lot of qualities that I hold very close in my skincare routine. And and as much as like my health is concerned for me, skin health is absolutely crucial. And You Beauty resides in all of those excellent things. It's a science-based beauty company. Um, they have taken fantastic care and in their ingredient safety. And that's something that's really come around for me personally throughout the period. As somebody who's been within the industry and somebody who's actually been diagnosed with melanoma, that was a really big turning point in my life in terms of taking my skin and care and my health um, very seriously. I definitely really want high quality, high performance formulas. I want maximum results, but with minimal routine. I really like to have my time is precious as it is for everyone, and so I want products which are multifunctional, and that's really one of the tenets of beauty. So many of their products have a multifunctional component, and so that works wonders for my routine.